This is the autopilot. Here, this knob here, the one that's moving.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
That's the autopilot. Engage and disengage.
How do you do that?
All of these buttons, I know what they do.
That's crazy.
All of them, you have to know what they do. So basically, a landing is. I'll show you.
Have some fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see what we can do, man.
I'm throttling down. I'll walk you through it. I'm throttling down.
Right. Okay.
And I'm pulling up the stick. I'm keeping. You see, this is a kind of a good turn rate ratio. And I throttled down to make that speed turn agile. The speed when you slow down. The speed and the you're basically when you slow down, I think I'm just like in a boat. You increase your turn radius.
Right.
And when you see the needle here on the left, the bottom left, 700, 600, it's going down and down and down. Now I won't stall. I know this plane already, so I won't stall it around the 500, 400 mark when it reaches that white triangle there. So I can really downspeed it and do whatever I want with it until that level. And whenever I want to speed up, I just throttle up. There's a button here that you can't see, but it's the afterburner. I don't know if you'll hear it over the radio or the speakers, but when I press it, you'll hear it. You hear that?
Yeah. It just gives you a little boost.
Yeah, a little boost. A lot boost.
A lot of boost?
It goes from using, for example, in a car, when you go and you use, mileage and fuel and everything like that,
right.
Instead of you using just, if you just if you just drive normally and you use it's hard to explain. Basically, the fuel consumption gets around 60 to 70% more when you use an afterburner.
Oh, okay.
It's a crazy amount. So you don't just use it for willy-nilly stuff. It's usually for battle criterias or when you really need it. So I'll show it to you in free and
willy-nilly stuff, man.
Yeah, I'll show you the afterburner because that's a very cool thing. These are the twin engines.
Right.
As you can see, when I slow down and everything like that, the nozzles move. And when I turn the afterburner on, this is the afterburner. This is basically, if I'll show you this, I have it's called an afterburner gate. By default, this is your throttle. This is your throttle. So whenever you push the throttle up to a certain angle here, it at the max, you see it says max here at the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're at the max, normally in the realistic plane, I have a settings that doesn't do it because it's a little bit harder on my joystick to do. But once you go beyond this level, it should automatically activate the afterburner in the real plane. Now I have that settings as well. I'll just put a settings that won't do it. I have a button here that when I press it and it's beyond the max point, it'll activate the afterburner. So I don't accidentally burn some fuel that I don't want to. Because sometimes you can't even notice you're afterburning, especially if you're in the middle of a combat situation. Now, as I said, this is your speed. We're going right now Mach 1.1, and this is ground level. So if I'll give you an example right now. We're going Mach 1. So if I want, this plane is so fucking amazing. We're right now at 5,000 altitude, and we're climbing like crazy. I can climb at 90 degrees up as well if I want. I can just give this plane all the force in the world, and we're 60 degrees up, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, and this is us. We're going right now 300 knots. We're gonna lose speed because it didn't kind of slow. But that's it. This is this plane. Not a lot of planes can actually do this kind of thing. And right here we go. We're gonna stall right now in a moment. As you can see, we're going 600, 700 knots, and everything like that. So we're going straight up into the atmosphere. We're going right now 35 Angel, 35,000 feet, and we were 6,000 a moment ago, if you remember.
That's crazy.
And that's it. We're gonna stall right now. I'm gonna turn off the engines.
Why?
Just let it fall. Why not? We can go even to 70,000 and everything like that.
The wings, they open and close.
They open and close automatically to the speed. So now I'm going to turn this thing around. I'm going to get the speed up, and I want to keep the altitude, but I want to speed up now. Now the difference that I don't know if this takes part in the ocean a lot.
It's less dense air,
Exactly.
so you can move faster.
Exactly, 100% true.
Right.
So now my afterburners, my speed, you'll see before the top speed of this thing below around 20,000, 25,000 feet is around Mach 0.4.
Then you go up, it's like 2.
2.2, exactly.
Oh my god.
Exactly. And you'll hear it in a moment. I'll show it to you, and I'll let you see it. We don't see it, unfortunately. There's no sonic boom effect that it blows and does the canopy thing like in real life, but it does represent in sound in this game. So I'm going to turn on the autopilot here. I have a button for it on the throttle. I'm going to keep. I also have a button for altitude hold. So this is it. Altitude on. So now, wherever I place the point, there's also a key that I need to press, which is this AP reference. I need to point. It's a key called nose wheel steering. It does a lot of things in different planes, but in this, it synchronizes what I want from the plane and synchronizes my altitude in the autopilot thing. So if I press it right now, you'll see the plane will actually hold the altitude. And this is, like I said, this is the altitude that we have, and this is our reference of how much we're going up and how much we're going down. So let me press that key again. There you go. Now you'll see the nose will dip. It'll get into the middle, and this needle will slowly get to the middle. It'll bop several times because it's trying to recalibrate itself. It's not the most accurate needle, but it's working on it. And eventually we're going to hold our altitude on whatever, when I press that button. So you know, now it's working up. I'm not even doing anything. It's doing it on its own. And now it's going to work on down, and it'll balance itself. Now, we're going right now 1.6. Obviously, we don't have any. Where's our fuel? This is our fuel. We got right now a total of 9,000 pounds in the plane. And I can also check my. Well, we don't have anything right now loaded up. So we're clean. We don't have fuel, or we don't have extra fuel tanks, or any rockets, or anything. Everything like that will basically drag the plane slower. So even if I have a full set of bombs here, I won't be able to exceed 1.4, 1.5. So if I want to go higher than that, I need to either eject everything or just be, clean like this. So right now we're going 1.8 Mach. So if I'll show it to you right now.
So you gotta stay a course and just keep on pushing the plane, and then it gets to 2.
Remember the altitude that you need, above 25-ish. And you just need to hold it tight. Even if it's in the straight altitude like this, you don't need to dive or anything like that, or people think. You can hold it and the plane will do its magic, slowly climbing. Of course, I can speed it up if I give it a little bit of a nose down. As long as I don't go below a density air, it won't start losing speed. Now, the cool effect about this that we're going speed of sound is that you're going to hear boom. And that's literally...
That was good timing, man.
The sound.
That was good timing.
The sound that the engines... You can imagine a funnel behind the plane. That is the sound. The sound is literally being dragged behind because the plane is going faster, twice as fast than the speed of sound. So if you can do that again, you'll see the plane catches off and it blows after you literally hear the sound that's following the plane because it can't keep up. Now we're going 2.2.
Fuel Joker.
Fuel Joker, that means we're at 5,000. 5.7. And I have, by the way, I have a RIO, which is called a Radio Interceptor Officer. It's this guy. And he's in charge. We're in the front. He's in the back. He's in charge. I can even show you. I think it's like Control 2 or Shift 2. No, it doesn't. I don't remember how to get to it. But it's another. He's in charge of
navigation.
No, well, yeah. He's helpful to you. He's like a co-pilot. He helps you with everything. But his main idea is to help you with radar locks. So if I go into the weapon system and everything like that, if we wanna. If you imagine like a beam that goes up and down and a beam goes left and right, that's the beam's plane. It has a cone and it can scan from left to right and up and down. And this radar, we shoot radar and whatever returns the radar back, the RIO can lock onto that radar designation and tell you, okay, we got this and that and here and there, and he's in charge of the weapon system. So right now we're going 2.2. Now, let's get it interesting.
Bingo fuel.
Bingo fuel, that means we're burning fuel right now because we're in the afterburner, like I said. So I'm going to turn off the afterburner. This is basically the you saw that if I turn too fast.
Yeah, that's like the pilot losing.
Exactly. Now, the game is a game, but humanly possible, we can stand right around 9 Gs for an X amount of time. So, as you can see, even if we're going down, nose diving, our speed is actually going down. We're going 1.6, 1.5, and we're slowly going to go and reaccumulate ourselves to the air and density of the area.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, the scary thing about this plane, if you're not a good pilot, or you don't know, or you're just learning it like I did, if I literally pull up right now as fast as I can, the plane will break apart. The wings will not be able to sustain the turn. Hey, fuck it. We'll just demonstrate it.
Let's do that. Ah!
That's it.
Oh shit.
That's the plane. I'll make it inject. No, actually, my ejection is not set up, so we fainted, obviously, and we're gonna crash.
Sad story, man.
Yeah.
That was a good flight.
Yeah.
Let's do a landing.
Let me show you a landing right now. This
But how about no propellers, huh?
Unfortunately, I don't have them. I didn't buy anything that has them.
What's the Tomcat all about?
The Tomcat was invented in the mid-60s, 70s.
No, but you said we're gonna fly the Tomcat.
This is the Tomcat.
Ah, this is the
Tomcat.
Okay.
This is the F-14B. It doesn't say it here, but it's the Tomcat. The Tomcat is
I like this plane.
a naval plane, especially. Yeah. So if I even right now, for example, I'll show you a landing. This is the best. I think it's the best. It's the difference between this and a normal plane, like a futuristic plane, like the F-18. If you do that same maneuver and you pull up really fast, it won't break. It won't break apart, that is. It will limit you to how much the plane knows it can turn before it breaks itself. The F-14 is different. It's not a fly-by-wire. I don't remember how it's called, but...
It has like a mechanism.
Exactly. It works...
that does balancing of the pilot.
Now, I'll show you, before we do go in for a landing, I'll show you some, like, maybe sharp turns and the usage of, we got a thingy here called the speed brake. Oh, that's the flares. So that's good. We have flares.
Wait, how do you do that? How do you do the barrel?
It's the button, top button here.
No, how do you do the barrel?
The what?
The barrel?
You just hold. As simple as that. Yep.
Just to the left?
Yep, or to the right. You'll see slowly our nose is going down, right? So if you're gonna synchronize it to make sure, like if you want to do this maneuver in a low altitude, if you do that, your nose will go down and you'll crash.
You got to pull up a little bit.
Exactly. So you need to pull up at the same time that you're turning. So it's basically pulling up and pulling down. So if I example it right now, you see if I do this, the plane is a little bit lower than what it was. You see that?
Yeah.
So if I want to do it really low, it will kill me. So in order to do that really low, I need to push down and push up again.
Oh,
so keep it balanced in the barrel.
Nice.
Push up and push down again. And that basically keeps the plane going in a straight line. So now we have another control surfaces, it's called. I'm going to slow down. We have speed brake, which you'll see once it goes below. There you go. It opens. You see that? That little wing. Two of them. One on the top and one on the bottom. These are speed brakes. Now, in addition to that, this really slows the plane, obviously.
Right.
Now. It helps you do really sharp turns whenever you want.
Now you're stalling?
Yeah, I'm literally stalling right now. And I can turn the speed brake back on. Oh, and I'm going to die. Let's speed up. Let's turn on the afterburner.
Give you like a good kick?
Yep, give it a good kick. You see the afterburner's kicking in. And now I can literally go up. The power of this plane is so amazing that from a stall,
look at that.
You can do this.
Look at that.
And now, even if to go even advanced, or let's zoom in a little bit, zoom out a little bit, I'm going to turn off the engines, again, not turn them off, but throttle down. And I'm going to turn, now we're stalling, you see these? The flaps. I open the flaps up, which allows me to control the air around the plane a little bit better. So now, once the plane is actually falling, although we're stalling right now, I can actually still have some control. And what a stall is bad for a plane is that basically most of the planes that don't have a large air surface, once they stall, that means there's no air around the plane that actually helps it maneuver.
Makes it go up.
Exactly.
Makes the lift effect.
Exactly, 100%. So it makes the lift effect around the wings to actually. So when a plane stalls, the most fearful thing is that you don't control the surface of the planes anymore. So it either spins or it either dives or anything like that. The cool thing about this plane is that even right now
it has so much surface area that it just creates its own lift.
Exactly.
As it moves forward.
And I can even turn the flaps down again. You'll see them open up right now. There you go. I can still control the plane. I'm throttled down. I'm going 180 knots. I'm going literally below stalling speed. And I can still control the plane. Like nothing. Now if I add a little bit of power, this is literally the settings for landing already. Now, another thing about this plane, because it's in quotation, a stupid plane, if I go beyond the speed and the flaps are open, or I close the wings while the flaps are open, the flaps will actually break. They'll actually stop working. They'll be stuck either open or closed or whatever you put them on. So right now we're going like 200 knots, which is nothing for this plane. and we're going with the flaps open to give my air flow a little bit better. And we can just drift like this for as long as I can even go slower than this. I can go 150. Now if I go advanced and put the afterburner on and really give this a pull, I can basically balance. Because I'm pulling the plane, I'm slowing it down. But because I still have the force from the afterburners, I can still make a turn. And I still have my flaps open, remind me. And this is the fastest turn radius that you can do in this plane.
Right. Full speed ahead with a lot of brake in the back part of the plane.
Exactly.
So it pulls the back part, and then the front part can turn.
Exactly. And
Very
it's two forces working against each other.
Right. That's
to
cool.
keep you air.
And I'm drunk, man. This is good beer. Let me fly. Let me fly. Good job, man. You're a fucking great pilot.
I'll show you a landing afterwards.
Fuck.